Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Let's understand about the how to boost the coenzyme Q10, which that is very important. So, what is the coenzyme Q10? First of all, we will understand about that. Then we will understand about the coenzyme Q10, basically boosting mechanism. So, coenzyme Q10 is the coenzyme which that work with the several type of the enzyme in the electron transport chain in the mitochondria, and on the other hand other oxidative stress prevention and the antioxidation processes. So remember about that. This basically reactive oxygen species reduction while the increase the production of ATP for the normal metabolism in our body and the production of more energy for the brain, for our muscle contraction, for speaking and for hair growth and the skin growth. So the coenzyme Q10 is very important. You can buy through the supplementation, but anyhow, the dietary change which that lead to boost the coenzyme Q10. Eat organ meat like liver and kidney, which that also boost the coenzyme Q10 because the coenzyme Q10 are present in the liver and kidney because liver and kidney contain more mitochondria for the function properly to produce more ATP, and in this the coenzyme Q10 are present in the mitochondria of the liver and kidney of the beef, and it can be mutton. So anyhow, on the other hand, the normally the meat can be also include the fatty fish like salmon, the sardines and mackerel. Basically contain the mitochondria more. Why? Because the fish is responsible for the production of more heat from the ATP, and the heat generation from the electron transport chain require the coenzyme Q10. That is why their mitochondria contain the saturation of the coenzyme Q10 more. And in this way, the nuts and seeds like almonds, sesame and the seeds basically also important for the coenzyme Q10 replenish. Vegetables, avocado, olive and the omega-3 fatty acid and omega-6 fatty acid contain basically boost the coenzyme Q10, and absorption will be efficient due to this vegetable and olive oil and the omega-3 fatty acid. Supplementation can be ubiquinol, which that is the active form, or the ubiquinone, which that is the oxidized form. Both are good for you to enhance the function of the production of ATP from the mitochondria and prevention of the damage of the mitochondria, because it will prevent the oxidative phosphorylation stress, oxidative stress prevention, and it is antioxidant and it can decrease the reactive oxygen species. The coenzyme Q10 with vitamin E for absorption. Basically, it will basically coenzyme Q10 with vitamin E for absorption. So in this way, whenever you will buy the supplement, you should buy the vitamin E for the absorption efficient, and increase the absorption will lead to boost the coenzyme Q10 in your mitochondria for function normally, because the mitochondria is very important and clearly is the powerhouse of the cell. So the dosage is the 30 to 100 milligram per day is very important. And in this way, whey protein with the multivitamin is very important with the antioxidation, but the coenzyme Q10 is also present in the protein. So naturally you can consume that. Lifestyle modification can be exercise regularly, aerobic strength training, maintain healthy weight, and the manage stress, meditation, yoga, and whenever you will decrease the smoking, alcoholism, addiction like cocaine, marijuana, cannabis, which that all things will decrease the coenzyme Q10. In this will decrease the ATP production. In this way, the metabolism will decrease. While on the other hand, the thyroid gland are also responsible for the metabolism normally to produce more ATP due to the increase the metabolism. And in this way, the thyroid gland is very important for production of ATP. And in this way, basically the thyroid hormone when decreased, so the electron transport chain ultimately decrease. So important thing you should need to understand, the healthy thyroid gland require the iodine. So require the iodine as a supplementation or through the diet is necessary. On the other hand, the boosting coenzyme Q10 absorption is also important for the boosting of the coenzyme Q10 in our body for the function of the mitochondria properly, for the prevention of the prevention of the oxidation, because the coenzyme Q10 is the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, and on the other hand the anti-cancer, as well as the basically it is also important for the growth of the cell and the growth of the muscle and health of the heart and health of the hairs and skin. So in this way, basically vitamin C, E, and omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid is important for the boosting of the coenzyme Q10, while the healthy fat, which that is important for the absorption of the coenzyme Q10, because it is the fat soluble, so it will basically absorb through the coenzyme Q10, absorbed through the fat. While the top coenzyme Q10 rich food is the beef, sardines, salmon, almonds, sesame seeds, basically which that is important food. So in this way you can boost, but the important to note that how to maintain and how to retain the basically the best retention of the coenzyme Q10 in the mitochondria and the function properly of the coenzyme Q10 in the mitochondria as antioxidation and a lot more oxidative stress prevention, reactive oxygen species prevention, nitric oxide species basically prevention, reactive nitric oxide and reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species basically prevention through the fasting, ketogenic diet, which that also improve the absorption of the coenzyme Q10. Fasting also maintain and retention of the coenzyme Q10 in the mitochondria, while the repair of the mitochondria is very important, which that boosts due to the fasting. So fasting trigger the repairing of the mitochondria and the DNA, while coenzyme Q10 basically work and give the rest also requirement for the mitochondria. And in this way, basically you should need to understand the fasting and intermittent fasting and caloric restriction basically improve the function of the coenzyme Q10, while the exercise and good sleep basically also give the function more for the coenzyme Q10, because the energy crash prevention, because the low level of the glucose in your blood prevention, while the normal level of the glucose in your blood will lead to normalize the influx of the glucose due to the buffering of the insulin. So in this way, the less glucose molecule enter into the cell will lead to less glycolysis. In this way, the less electron transport chain occur. In this way, the less electron transport chain in the mitochondria will lead to decrease the oxidative stress. In this way, the less oxygen requirement and the less ATP production will lead to decrease the inflammation, because the more ATP production is not good, because it will lead to activate the reactive oxygen species and that a lot more things. So excessive amount of everything is bad. That is why the ATP more production is not good. So that is why the anaerobic respiration will increase due to the insulin spike due to the glucose intake, and that is why the ketogenic diet is very important. In this way, the more ATP production will not occur due to the fasting and the ketogenic diet. Why? Because the less glucose move into the cell, while the production of ATP will also decrease due to the pyruvate formation decrease. When the rushing of the glycolysis and number of the glycolysis when increase will lead to basically damage the mitochondria due to the oxidative stress and more consumption of the pyruvate into the mitochondria, which that is damage. So anyhow, this is the basically supplementation, lifestyle modification, like the exercise regularly, aerobic strength training, and maintain healthy weight, and manage stress through meditation and yoga, and decrease the smoke. That is also important. While on the other hand, the boosting coenzyme Q10 is also important. So I hope you make sense about that. Basically, this is the boosting mechanism, how to boost the coenzyme Q10 and how to maintain the coenzyme Q10 in your body. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. For this one, bye. Allah Hafiz.